Hey there guys, you're with Mr. Burns, and very exciting, today we are looking at fractions on a number line. We are looking at fractions on a number line. Let's have a look, shall we? Now this is the sort of thing we're talking about, guys. Here's a number line from 0 to 3, and you'll recall that fractions are part of a whole. So of course 1's a whole, one's a whole, and 2's a whole, and 3's a whole. So we're talking about numbers in between 1, 2, and 3. We're talking about numbers like 1.5, 2 3/4, 3.5. Where are these on the number line? Okay, now I think pictures can often help, so I'm using pizzas today, and you can see here we've got 0. Oops, a daisy, sorry about that, guys. Here we've got 0, and here we've got 1, and in between that we've got half. And you can see here I've got, well, no pizza, but here there's half a pizza. And of course over here we've got a whole 1 pizza. Okay, I want you to have a look here. Just here we've got, well, we've got the 1 pizza here. I've already indicated that. In between the 2 pizzas, we've got 1.5 pizzas. And so I'm going to put a 1.5 there. And here's your 2 pizzas. I've already indicated that. I'll indicate it again. And here's your 3 pizzas. But in between the 2 and the 3, we've got 2.5 pizzas. Now I'm about to get rid of all the pizzas, but what I really want you to notice is it goes 0, half, to 1, to 1.5, to 2, to 2.5, to 3. And actually in between that you've got quarters as well, and we're going to add those soon. So I'm going to get rid of the pizzas now. Okay, so the pizzas are gone, and so we've just got the numbers there as well. And I'm actually going to make the numbers black so they're all the same colour. Okay, so now you can just see we've got a fairly simple number line there. And it goes from 0 to a half, to 1, to 1.5, to 2, to 2.5, to 3. You know, if you wanted to pretend this was money, and sometimes this helps, you could say this down here was no cents, this is 50 cents, this is $1, this is $1.50, this is $2, this is $2.50, and here we have $3. Okay, and I've just drawn in the dollar amounts there. So what I'm just trying to show you guys is that in between 0 and 1 there's a half, isn't there? And in between 1 and 2 there's 1.5, and in between 2 and 3 there's 2.5. And you can look at that as money. You can look at it as 50 cents or $1.50 or $2.50. That might just help you. Okay, we're going to say goodbye to those dollars now. And we're actually going to introduce another fraction that exists between half and 1, and 1.5 and 2, and 2.5 and 3. I wonder if you know what it is. What's the next level of fractions? Have a think. We start off usually dividing things into halves, and then if we chop it in half again, so if we chop a circle in half and then cut those halves into halves. So here's our circle, and we'll just cut it in half, right? And then let's cut those halves into halves. What do we have there? I bet you know. Why don't you tell me? Pause it. Have a guess. It is... Okay, we can look at how quarters go now on the number line. Why don't you have a guess at where the quarters go? I mean, it's a good thing to remember, for example, that a half is the same as 2/4, isn't it? 1.5 is the same as 1 2/4. Okay, exactly the same value. 2.5 is the same as 2 2/4, exactly the same value. Do you think you can work out where the rest of the quarters are going to go? For example, where 1/4 is going to go? Where is 3/4 going to go? Where is 1 3/4 going to go? See if you can work it out. That means you'll have to pause me and see if you can work it out. Okay, guys, I'm going to put in where the quarters go, and just forgive me, I'm going to use my black there. Okay, so you've got 0 down here, aren't you? So then it goes 0, 1/4, right? a half or 2/4, which is the same thing, 3/4, 1, right? Then 1 1/4, I have to write small, 1 1/4. Then 1 2/4 or 1 1/2, which is the same thing. 1 3/4. 2, 2 1/4, I'll have to write small. 2 2/4 or 2 1/2, which is the same thing. 2 3/4, 3, and of course so on. And again, guys, I wonder if it helps if I turn it into money. So if we think of 1 as $1 and 2 and $2, and we can see that these fractions actually mean something. So let's say, well, a quarter. I wonder if you know what a quarter equals. And have a guess before I write it down. Well, if you're American, you'd know a quarter, of course, equals 20. Oh, whoops, daisy. If you're American, and that's what they call it in America, a quarter equals 25 cents. 2/4 or half a dollar equals 50 cents. And 3/4 of a dollar equals 75 cents. And well, $1 equals $1, 1.00 cents. And I was running out of room, so I just got rid of those. We'll go back to 1. 1 equals $1. There it is. And 1 1/4 equals, I wonder if you work this out, $1.25. 1 2/4 or 1 1/2 equals $1.50. 1 3/4 equals $1.75. I'll put down the cents that time. I didn't need to. I'll get rid of that because you don't need to do that. Okay. And of course, if we get to 2, that of course just equals $2 whole. And if we get to 2 1/4, it's $2.25. And if we get to 2 1/2, it's $2.50. I wonder if that makes it a little bit clearer for you. Okay, guys, that was fractions on the number line from 0 to 3, and we've looked at quarters and halves and where they fit in between 0 and 3. Take a good look at it, memorize it, because I can guarantee you will be assessed on it. See you later.